What's up, guys? My name is Adriel Rivera, and I make music in my shed. Joining me today is somebody else who also makes music in my shed. Eldest brother of his family, Adriel and Pres Washington.
Yo, I am the eldest.
How's that like? I'm the middle child.
Dude.
Technically.
All right, screw whatever my answer was. How's that?
It's good. I mean, it's not traditional middle childness. I think most people probably, well, I don't say most people. I don't know how other people are with their middle childness.
Yeah.
But like, I'm the middle child compared to 4 years from my older brother and 13 years from my younger brother. So it's like, am I really the middle child? Most of my life, I was the youngest brother.
Yeah.
And now I'm a middle child, but like, it's like me and my older brother are both older brothers. You get what I'm saying? It's not like, it's different. It's like a different type of thing. So
yeah, I can see like how that would feel a bit different than like how my brother probably feels, because it has been like for a lot of his life in the middle of both of them. And yeah,
I do hear that middle children get none of the attention.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. I was just curious about that.
Nah, it's the little brother that gets all the attention, which I'm not mad about. I'm giving him attention. I'm the one that's giving him attention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm mad about it.
My little brother is the cutest brother. He's the best brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite brother.
Well, there you go.
And he's my older brother's favorite brother.
Oh, everybody likes this guy. He's just the best guy.
Yeah, he's your favorite brother, even though he's not your brother.
I mean, you're putting me on the spot here. Am I choosing him over? Are you talking about versus my brothers?
Yeah.
I mean, it's competitive. That's competitive. That's competitive little ranking right there.
Yeah. How is it like being an older brother?
On us, it's cool. It gets real old though.
You feel like you've taught your younger brothers better than your experiences. Like, do you think you've taught them to do better than you?
Well, yeah. I do think so. I don't want to take credit for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that like when it comes to like older brother like giving guidance, I feel like I've done decent. I feel like there's times where I could have done better, but that's part of life, and it's something that I'll live with, eh?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it'd be like that, bro. But you're like a brother to me.
You're like a brother to me, dude.
You're welcome.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. Oh man.
Speaking of which,
what?
Let's watch the music video for Oh Man. What? Because we're breaking down the lyrics today. Just to let you guys know, in case you didn't know. Lyrics and music video. Here's the music video for Oh Man. Let's give this a watch.
Oh man, I think we're way too far to go right. What we've done's all it takes to know that it's best to give up the hope and let go. Oh, let go. Sleep hasn't felt the same without cold feet. If you let go, keep whatever you want from my OT. Oh, let go. Sheesh, I succumbed playing, she told me. If you let go, please, can we still? I'm lonely, and it got me thinking like, oh man, I think we're way too far to go right. What we've done's all it takes to know that it's best to give up the hope and let go. Oh, let go. If you let go. These days I feel so conflicted. Tension is high, I'm addicted. Maybe we're both a bit wicked. I could've never predicted the pain we've inflicted. The convos feel scripted. How this gets so twisted. I wish it was different, but we can't resist it. Our feelings have drifted. Still we're here kissing. We're too far to fix it. Oh man, I think we're way too far to go right. What we've done's all it takes to know right. What we've done's all it takes to know right.
Yeah, I just realized. Well, I don't know if I should say just realized, but like I forgot that I called this a visualizer and not a music video, because in my mind, it's not really. I mean, it's like a music video. You could definitely call it a music video, but it's like it to me. It wasn't as like put together as like a traditional type of music video that I would make for myself. You know,
Yeah.
it's really just performance shots. But still some cool little elements in there.
Yeah.
You know, again, when we talked about the production, this is like, in my opinion, like psychedelic rock leaning.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot of psychedelic rock. Like when it comes to psychedelic rock, obviously you think of like psychedelics, drugs, things like that. You know,
Yeah.
and although that's not the point of the song, it's still like a vibe I was kind of leaning into with like the visuals. You know,
Yeah.
with like, you know, having moments in the song or in the visualizer where like, you know, it's like things like this where you know, like there's the square of just black and white.
Yeah.
And then other moments where it's like, you know, stop motion animation of like paper like in front of the background.
Yeah.
Other moments.
Really cool, by the way.
Thank you. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But then, so there's other moments of like the mirror on the floor, you know, there's that. And then there's also, what else we got? Just like, here, where is it? Yeah, right there, where it's like, you know, behind the trees in the background, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, you have little elements like that, you know, are I thought were pretty interesting to include.
Yeah.
And then going off of the whole paper animation thing, I had an idea for like a visualizer like that, you know. But I knew like it's something that would take a lot of effort to make an entire song, like stop motion type of thing. So I thought I'd just put little bits of elements of that idea into this visualizer, and it's cool. I think it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's definitely like things like this is just kind of like throws you off a little bit. It's like a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not what you're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that adds like that unpredictability and that kind of like psychedelic rock, like kind of trippy aspect you were talking about.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I also really appreciate the color grading in this video. This is
Me too.
Thank you. This is one of the last videos I made, and so like, you know, color grading was like I got better at color grading over time, and this was like, you know, some of my more recent color grading works, even though it's been over a year since this came out. But
Yeah.
Another thing I want to point out in this visualizer is this moment right here in the sky where you got the paraglider. You know, the guy, it was literally like a dude that had like a propeller, like he was like sitting on a propeller parachute thing that like was just like flying around.
Yeah.
So like this isn't stock footage at all. Like there literally was just a dude flying around like as I was filming this video, and so I filmed him.
Gotta record it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it threw him in there, and yeah, it was funny. Cause like I went to like the middle of this like just like field, you know,
Yeah.
like where it wasn't a lot of traffic or anything like that, and this dude is just flying in the sky.
Yep. Solo.
And it's like I'm like, well, yeah, well, I mean, and it's cool because again, it adds to the unpredictability of the visualizer. It like worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
But also too, it's like, what was he doing? Like, why is he just like, how did he get there?
Well, I mean, that he
planned it for sure.
He dropped in off of the freaking bus, dude. That's of course.
Oh, the battle bus.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro. He's just picking where he's gonna drop in.
I've actually never played Fortnite, but I know what the battle bus is.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, yeah. My girlfriend plays Fortnite though. She wants me to play.
You should play, bro.
Maybe once.
Try it out.
All right, I will. Also the graffiti. Graffiti was just like things that it was graffiti I found throughout like, you know, my town in certain areas, and I mean that's pretty good graffiti, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I saw it, I was like, damn, like that's art.
That is art. That's fire.
Yeah. And so I appreciate the artist for drawing it so I could throw it in there.
Real.
They have no idea that, or maybe they do, who knows? But with this music video having only like 600 views on YouTube, I doubt that they know.
Yeah, the odds aren't great, but who knows?
Yeah, but maybe they know that the drawings or their art is in my music video. Appreciate them. Shout out. I would, shout them out if I knew who they were.
Yeah.
It
You
was-
gotta tag it, man. You gotta tag it at the bottom. They gotta put like at whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the signature up there. No idea.
Hmm.
But then again, too, it's illegal to do graffiti. It's like vandalism.
That's a fair point.
So I don't think anybody would want to tag themselves.
Yeah, but like I see tags though. Maybe that's sanctioned. Maybe that's not graffiti and that's more like mural stuff.
Yeah, that's probably what that is.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This didn't seem like it was a mural because it was underneath like a highway bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I know where this is and that it's definitely illegal.
Yeah,
Definitely didn't want somebody doing that.
right. But they did a good job.
They did shout out to that person, man.
Yeah, I mean, like nobody's taking it down. Nobody's like try to wash it up or anything, or like done anything over it. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming we all agree that it's like pretty good.
It's good. Yeah, universally accepted. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is now, guys. Like we have to appreciate this.
And how could you be mad at that? It's like literally a teddy bear with a heart and a flower. Like it's
For real.
nothing. It's nothing aggressive. It's
For real.
all love.
If you're trying to take that down, you're just a hater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite? Do you have a favorite frame from the video?
Oh shoot, favorite frame? That's a good question. Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. The mirror shot. The mirror shot's pretty cool in my opinion. I think this mirror shot is cool.
Yeah.
That there's like a lot of cool little frames in here. Like this frame right here, I think is nice. Like with the blurred background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What else we got? Like just the hero shot.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, like this turned out real nice. And the propeller guy, parachute propeller guy. Like I mean, this is just a nice looking sky over here, and like dude's just up there chilling. So I like this one too.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments, concerns before we move on to the lyrics?
I have no questions, comments, or concerns.
So then let's dive into these lyrics because this is going to be an interesting episode since you wrote this song with me.
It's true.
You're a songwriter. You have songwriting credits.
It's true.
We joked about you having songwriting credits onto her, which had to get that sorted out. But
I wrote it, dude. I wrote it. You lying, guys.
but this is a song you actually did write.
Just like to her, yeah. No, I didn't write to her.
But you got songwriting credits on the song.
Yeah.
You looked at your BMI royalty statements for the song? Because I know you looked at the statements. I don't know if you looked specifically for the song. But I'm just curious how much you got from it. Because,
I don't remember.
Because like if this song wins, we both win.
That's true. That's true. Shoot, I should start promoting it. Like, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool to have you on the song as a writer because it's like, well, you helped me out because like I really didn't. Like, this was a hard song to write in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not because it's just like not lyrical content wise, but like melody wise, trying to figure out how words will fit together. Like I felt like this was a difficult song to write, which is why I asked for your help.
Yeah.
But I also just think it's cool because then now, like if like when this song performs well, you perform well. Like we both perform well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And your name is in the credits too. It's like I just think it's cool.
I do too. I do too. Thank you for the invite, man. It was fun. It was fun to work on something. And I think it was cool because it was super cool to me because you were also, stepping a little bit outside of your comfort zone with this sound. You know what I mean? Like doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so it was fun to like take on the challenge with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's break it down a little bit more before we talk more about being songwriters.
For real. All right. So the line that I have for you is, I think we're way too far to go back. What we've done is all it takes to know that. It's best to give up the hope and let go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess now compared to, back then, would you let a relationship get to that point again to where like you're too far to go back, or is it something that you'd want to like end earlier?
Well, just for context, just for the listeners, this song is actually like just like like pure fiction. So like there's no real merit to this song.
Yeah.
And I mean, you helped me write it, so it's like we're both just kind of like writing up stuff, you know,
Writing a song, yeah.
Yeah. And funny story, like, well, my girlfriend, I don't know exactly if she thought that this was a real song or not, but I think she thought that like these were real experiences. And I was like, no, like Pres actually wrote the song with me.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of made things up.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this isn't real. Well, you know, in terms of like, you know, the context of like the lyrics, but
Yeah.
what you're asking is like, would I ever let, what was it? Would I ever let a relationship get to the point where I
Yeah.
feel like we can't go back?
Like get to a point where the way that the song is written makes it sound like it's like a very big moment and it's like super toxic right now.
Mm-hmm.
So would you allow it to bubble to that kind of a toxic level, or would you are you more cautious in taking things step by step and as problems come up, solve problems and that type of thing?
Like that. Like
Okay.
that. I think most people would have that mentality. I don't think people like come into a relationship expecting it to be toxic, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
like in terms of like, would I let it to get, I don't think anybody would be like, I'm going to let this get toxic. You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of people do.
A lot of people do. Exactly. And I think it comes down to like, I think it just comes down to like, I don't know, emotional maturity. I feel like, I don't want to say that like people, or maybe I should say that people who are toxic are emotionally immature. I think I could say that. I think that's what.
Go off.
But like, well, because like that's what it is. It's not having emotional maturity. And I think as long as you're in a relationship with somebody that like can meet you at that point in terms of like, you know, being able to talk about things and like, you know, figure out situations, or if you yourself can talk to yourself and understand what it is that you need and you want so that you don't hurt the other person.
Yeah.
I've had like, you know, like there's like, you know, I've had moments in my life like that before, you know, in a lot of these aspects, you know, in terms of toxicity, but also like trying to make things not toxic, you know,
Yeah.
and like thinking of the other person,
Yeah.
you know, and all that stuff. So it's like, I think when it comes down to it, it's like, you really have to know yourself, you know? And I think once you can understand what it is that like you need from a relationship, then it's easy to communicate these things and you won't end up in toxic situations, whether you're the one that's toxic or they're the one that's toxic.
Yeah. Speaking on that, later in the song, you say, maybe we're both a bit wicked.
Yeah.
And so it's like, is that obviously, like, it's not intentional, you know, like being wicked to somebody else. Well, I'd hope not.
Yeah.
I'd hope not.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's, you know, but it's still hard to not do, or it's hard, or you're at a point where there is no going back and it's like, this is what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And we both wanted this.
Yeah.
But also don't at the same time. So maybe
Yeah.
we're both messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I hit the mic. But didn't you write that? You wrote the second verse is like all you.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So I'm gonna reverse card that question.
Bro, Uno reversing me.
Yeah.
What question?
Just a good question. I don't know, bro.
All right, bro. All right. So, in the song, you say, "Sleep hasn't felt the same with our cold feet."
Yeah.
When little problems arise and stuff, are you good at like letting it roll off your back and then addressing it at the proper time, or are you like, no, this needs to get addressed now because otherwise it's gonna mess up like the rest of my day, the rest of my week?
Yeah, honestly, that is the type of person I am. It's like I feel like I need to address things as they come up, you know. And this is something that I'm trying to well, I think it's a good thing. Me personally, I think it's a good thing to be able to address situations as they come up and then like, you know, have conversations about it. But at the same time too, I don't know how personal I'm gonna get. I know that my girlfriend's very mature, especially like emotionally mature as well, you know. But I know that like she likes to have time to process things, you know. And for me, like I'm a very like, let's figure things out right now. And so like giving her space is very important, you know.
Yeah.
It's important because then we both can get to the point where like we're actually communicating the things we want to communicate.
Yeah.
And I'm learning, like, I'm trying to learn to not be so hard on myself when situations like that happen, because it's like, she still does love me, like she's not gonna leave.
Yeah.
And just because we have a problem doesn't mean that the relationship is like, crashing down. Not that like that's what I'm thinking, but it's like, like I'm sure subconsciously part of the reason why I want to fix things is just so that we could be happy again. But it's like, it's okay to, and by happy again, not that like, so you get what I'm saying in the context of like whatever situation. It's
Yes.
like, I want to fix things so that we can get like into the point where like we're good, even if it's something small.
Yeah.
But it's like, sometimes you got to feel emotions, and it's okay to feel the emotions and give it some time,
Yeah.
And like, I'm learning to be like, okay with that,
Yeah. Absolutely. I think like with that, it's important that like when those issues come up and everything, actually addressing them and not just like kind of acquiescing and just like giving up on something.
What is it? Acquiescing?
Yeah. It's like,
I've never heard that word before.
it's giving in. It's like reluctantly giving in.
That's crazy. Bro just said something and I didn't know it existed.
This is not the first time that this has happened. Like sometimes I say things that you're like, what? And sometimes you say things and I have no idea what you're talking about either.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But that was wild though, because I've never heard that word in my life.
Acquiesce. I
Yeah.
forget what I read it in a book and I was like, I love that word. And so I made it a part of my vocabulary. But yes, yeah, because and then like those, a small problem that you ignore or whatever can snowball into the bigger problems, and then it's
exactly.
like, it's even more tragic and detrimental to the relationship.
Right. To piggyback off of that too, I'm just going on like a tangent here, but because like I want to go on top, like, because that just sparked something in my mind. Because like when it comes to like things like that too, because like you said, snowball.
Yeah.
A lot of times people will say things in the heat of the moment that aren't even relevant to the conversation, but are doing it just to make the other person feel something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not nice.
Yeah.
So like about the whole snowballing thing, like that's like also snowballing,
Yeah.
like emotions and things like that don't need to happen.
Right. Right. Like instead of, those issues being just thrown at the person, at a time where you need to use it as like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
More like address those things as they happen.
Right.
Rather than just like letting them happen and being like behind closed doors, you're a little mad about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then just exposing that at some point when you feel the right time.
Right. Exactly. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good, bro.
Great even.
Great even. All right. Next question I got for you.
All right. Next answer I got for you.
Oh wow, that's good. I like that. You say, please, can we still? And then I have no idea what you say because there's no words there. I'm
Right.
lonely.
Yeah.
My question is, are you someone that that like likes being in a relationship? Are you good with being single? Do you have like I want to be single or I want to be in a relationship? Or is it, are you cool with both?
I mean, I'm cool with both. I like being in a relationship. I am
Yeah.
in a relationship.
Yeah.
So like, that'd be kind of weird if I was in a relationship and I didn't like being in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. It would be.
But so yeah, I do like, and I think most people ultimately want to be in a relationship. I think we're just like, as humans, our brain is wired to want that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Evolutionarily speaking, like, there was a reason why we evolved to want relationships.
Yeah.
Some sort of survival aspect. So like I do want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I want to be in a healthy relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like that. So if that meant that I had to be single for like 10 more years to get the relationship I actually wanted,
Yeah.
I would have.
Okay, that's more like the question I'm trying to ask is more like, do you need a relationship?
I don't need a relationship. No,
Right.
I need a relationship that benefits me.
Yeah.
Because there's no point of going into a relationship if it's not serving you. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a way where it's like I'm the only one receiving any
Right.
benefits.
Right.
But it's like same thing with like friendships and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like if you are not if somebody is not adding value to your life, then you don't need them in your
Yeah.
life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if people will take that a weird way, but I feel like it's kind of like true.
That's how I feel about it too.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about
Right.
it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that goes with like a lot of different things too. Even like, you know, like a behavior that you have.
Yeah.
It's like if it's not like making you better, it's like do we need it?
Exactly.
If it's not providing, you know, a specific output that I need.
Yeah, yeah. And just to clarify too, because I feel like the reason why it might sound weird is because somebody might be thinking of it as a transactional thing where it's like if this person can give me status, like, you know, things like that. That's not what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that if somebody's not like making you a better person, you know, like if somebody doesn't push you or like, you know, gives value to your life, like is there for you when you're down or is like, you know, helps you reach your goals, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
And then and vice versa too if you're not doing the same for them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But yeah, that's more of what I mean, just to clarify a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah. I also like that you said, you know, giving them what they need and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big thing too, because I think a lot of people will go into relationships like just looking for the thing that they need.
Yeah.
And not thinking about not only that they have to provide something for the other person, but that thing may be different than what you want to provide or what is like natural to you.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
like the different love languages and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. See, our friendship, I give you camera,
It's true.
you give me thumbs up on my songs.
That's, I mean, yeah.
And that's the only reason why we're friends.
That honestly, that's it. That's it.
All right.
All right.
What's up next, friend?
This is actually the last thing that I have here.
Okay.
The convos felt scripted. So with that, are we talking like a talking in circles thing? Or are we more talking a conversation without like soul?
Well, let's reverse this
Let's reverse
question
it.
on yourself because you're the one that wrote this lyric.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by it?
Well, I think in this situation, man, it could be both. The situation that I think I'd find myself in more though is talking in circles, because I think I have like an issue letting go, and just like feeling bad, and so like letting things get to a certain point. You know what I mean? I think that could be something that I could find myself in. Yeah.
It's interesting because I interpreted this line as in like the conversations are getting dry. We're just going through
Right.
the same. Yeah.
Right.
Is that what it is?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I think it could be both of those.
Okay.
I think it could be both of those things. But I think that like for me personally, it would be a point where like, because I do think that I would speak up. I do think I'd speak up at something, right? But I also think that I would speak up, let it not get fixed, and then continue to do it for too long. I think I would also do that. So that's more what I'm saying. But also, yeah, like having dry, empty conversations. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you a question since we're like kind of like, you know, talking about, because you wrote this song,
Yeah.
I wrote this song.
Yeah.
And so overarchingly, what do you think this song is about? And what do I think this song is about?
Oh, cool. All right, good.
So what do you think the song is about?
So I think so you had the chorus done.
Yeah.
And then so it was just like some stuff with the verses that you needed help with. And so I think when I heard the chorus, I think I perceived it to be more of this relationship has reached a boiling point where things are bad. But the way I interpreted the chorus was the person writing the song, that perspective is like it could go either way, but if you think it's over, then we'll let it be over. Not necessarily that like the person is like holding on, but is okay with it continuing for a bit. But ultimately knowing that like it's not good.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I came from.
That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like my stance on it is similar. But I think where it's more of like it is over. Like we know that this is over, but we're still in this routine of like, being like doing things together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a toxic cycle type thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately, both perspectives are valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is what music is all about, is making people debate.
Yeah. For real, talking, going through emotions and what the words mean to that person.
For real. Yeah. But yeah, so moving on from the lyrics.
Yeah.
How was your experience? Like, what do you think in terms of like writing, like for just like people in general? Like,
I definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, there's something that you like. Could you see yourself becoming like a songwriter? Like, let's say like in the music industry, like you got your rapping career, right? But like, let's say you start dabbling in songwriting, and then like you start writing for other artists.
Yeah.
Do you think you could see yourself like going full-time songwriter? Would you ever see yourself going full-time songwriter? Because there are some full-time songwriters in the music industry that's what they do. Ross Golan, shout out Ross Golan.
Who's that?
He hosts the podcast And the Writer Is, and that podcast it has a bunch of artists and songwriters in the music industry.
Oh, okay.
And like they're like big ones, like I think a episode with Camila Cabello just came out like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Charlie Puth's been on there. John Bellion's been on there. That's how I found it. But Ross Golan, he's a host of that podcast, but he's also a songwriter in the music industry. He's written for, I can't think of the top of my head, but he's written for huge artists.
Yeah.
Like, he's established. He's established. He's one of the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just if you Google Ross Golan songs, you'll hear. Well, let's
You'll
Google,
see songs.
Let's Google Ross Golan songs. Ross Golan songs. Well, this is his own project. Let's see what is he written for. Now hopefully Ariana Grande, Flo Rida, Selena Gomez, One Direction, Andy Grammer. Don't know who Andy Grammer is. I'll be honest with you.
I've heard that name.
More Selena Gomez.
Wow.
Louis Vuitton, or no, Louis Fonzi.
Louis Vuitton.
Forget that. Cut that out.
No, I'll never forget that. That was good.
So funny.
That was good, man.
But yeah, Maroon 5, whatever. You get the idea. Bro's the guy. Bro's one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be content with being one of the guys?
Like before, or I mean, months back and years back, like I would say absolutely not. Like there's not a chance. Like I just don't think that would satisfy me, because I'd very much want to get out like my own thing and like my own message. But recently I think I'm realizing that like the thing that I appreciate most above all else is like just a good song.
Yeah.
It's just a good song.
Yeah.
And so I do think that like if I was just making good songs, whether or not it's me doing the vocals, like I do think that that's something I could get behind, and I would do and love and actually be passionate about. Yeah
I get you. And also to go back to the whole getting your message out there, like your message can still get out there as a songwriter for other artists. I remember John Bellion, I'm pretty positive that he said this, right? Talking about, because he's written a bunch of songs for artists, like he's one of the guys too.
Yeah.
John Bellion is his own artist, but he also is one of the guys.
Yeah.
Maroon 5, Memories. The song has over 1 billion streams.
Yeah.
And John Bellion wrote that song. he was talking about how he likes to write for other artists, because like, I mean, he still gets his message out there. He's just not the one singing it, you know. But he also knows that his message would impact more people if a bigger artist released a song rather than he did himself. You know.
Yeah.
And so, like, for example, Maroon 5. I mean, if John Bellion had made Memories and released it, who knows how far it would have gone.
Right.
I mean, you know, I'm positive it probably would have done well because John Bellion is a big artist too. You know, not like superstar, but like
he's not Maroon 5.
Yeah, but he's not Maroon 5 exactly. And Maroon 5, you know, that song has 1 billion streams. On just Spotify. And then to give more context, that song, if you think about John Bellion and his life, his past or like his history, whatever. But in his life, his grandma had dementia and she passed away, you know, because like over time, you know, like, well, old age, but dementia also, I think, does stuff to your body, you know, with the brain deteriorating. Regardless, that's his experience in his life, you know, and that's something that he talks about in a lot of his music. And so Memories is about people who have been in your life that, like, you know, have left, you know, and so like didn't do a lot of, like, I'm not like, you know, saying that that's exactly what the song is about, but he has written songs about his grandma. Ghost, he specifically told, like, by Justin Bieber, John Bellion wrote that song that was about his grandma.
Wow.
But like, you know, in that context, people thought Justin Bieber was talking about an ex-girlfriend, you know, when really John Bellion was talking about his grandma.
That's what I'm singing about when I'm singing it.
Yeah.
But, hey, but that's music though.
Yeah,
that's music.
It's music, exactly. You know, and so just knowing that context and then hearing the other songs that John Bellion's written, you can imply that like those were about moments of his life that other artists had just taken and loved too, you know.
Yeah.
Bottom line, if you want to get your message out there, you don't have to be the artist.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
So you think you would potentially become full-time songwriter if it fell into place, like that you're content with that?
Yeah. But you know, one thing that I just thought about is I don't think I would be a ghostwriter though. I don't think I could do that because I just don't like I don't like that practice.
Yeah, you want your name on the credits.
It's not about mine, like it's less about me getting credit and more about like the person giving credit and like letting somebody know like, hey, I made this with somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Honesty. You just like hear like it's that you value honesty.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. I agree. But yeah,
because I don't know. I don't like read that somebody else wrote on the song and I'm like, this song sucks now and I'll never listen to this again because this person was dishonest and they weren't saying their feelings. And it's like
I feel like it's even more dishonest to have a ghostwriter.
It's extremely sketch, but extremely what is the word? Like prominent in the rap industry. They'd be doing the ghostwriter thing, and I think that's dumb.
You would not be a ghostwriter.
I would not be a ghostwriter.
Me neither.
I'd never, and I wouldn't have a ghostwriter. I'll work with writers for sure.
Yeah,
but like they're gonna get credit.
Yeah,
they're gonna get credit.
Yeah, right. I get you. I would love to write for other artists. It's not something I'm pursuing right now because that's also another thing that, like, if you wanted to be a songwriter, like, that's you gotta try to be a songwriter. You know,
another career. Yeah.
Most of the time, it doesn't just fall in your lap. But yeah. So, but I think it's cool. Yeah. And I think it's cool. I still think it's really neat that you have a songwriting credit on one of my songs.
Yeah, I got to get you on one of mine, dude.
For real. I got you.
I'll give you fire.
I'll give you something. And if you guys want early access to my latest releases, I'll give you some. I'll give you early access to them. Jeez.
Yep.
And so feel free to join my email list down below, and you'll get early access every month to my latest songs before they come out. Actually, just sent out early access earlier this week, so
sheesh.
Make sure you join, bro.
Dude,
it's time for quote of the week. Jeez.
Duh.
What's your quote, bro?
My quote comes from a rapper named KO out of Chicago on his new song Plush.
I've heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Because you told me about him.
Yeah. I used one of his quotes before when the album dropped.
Yeah.
The quote is, if wifey gotta work a job, then something off about me. And I like that mentality for myself. Not to prescribe it on anybody, but I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that for myself, and like that's the way that I think about it. That's the way I think about it. So
Like you want to be the provider. You want to provide.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a key word in the quote is gotta, like has to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wants to is a different scenario. I'm not gonna be like, no job for you. You must be a housewife. Like that's crazy. Like that's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, like the gotta part. Like I'd like to provide like whatever it is that we need.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that we can both do what we want.
Yeah, and I think I ride that same wave. Yeah, because like I mean I talked about it in the lyric breakdown for I Don't Know Where to Go. Like, you know, talking about like wanting to give my girlfriend so much but feel like I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just part of the giver in me, you know, the provider in me that like, you know, I would love to be able to take care of the people I love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Shout out KO.
Shout out KO.
My quote is from Albert Einstein. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it.
That's good.
You ever heard that quote?
I have not heard that quote.
Yep. Compound interest, guys. You gotta understand it. You know, I was talking to my girlfriend about investing and stuff like that because we were talking about finances and stuff. Which, by the way, my 2 cents on talking about finances. I think it's important to talk about finances, especially in a relationship. Even if you guys are not married, I think knowing where both of you stand on finances and where your goals are is important.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we were just kind of talking about it. You know, just understanding each other where we were at with finances and stuff like that, having casual conversation, and we talked about investing, you know, and retirement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I asked my girlfriend, you know, like if you had invested $15,000 today in the S&P 500, you know, and took it out in like 39 years, how much do you think your money would have compounded? You know, and she gave me a number. What do you think it is at the average rate of like, you know, 7% annually?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I cannot do that math in my head.
Well, I'm not asking you to do the math. I'm asking you to take a guess.
So, like, just guess what the math is?
What do you feel like you should have if you invested that much money?
Dude, I don't even know how to... Dude, I have no idea. I don't even know how to gauge that. Like a couple 100,000, I guess.
So, well, her guess was like around 30 to 40,000. You're saying a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
So the actual number was like around like $198,000, right?
Okay.
Which yeah, you know, a couple 100,000. Well, almost a couple hundred.
Almost.
You know, but like, but it just goes to show that like, going from 15,000 to like 190, like almost 200,000 is like more than 10x, right? I think that's how math works. Yeah. So it's like compound interest is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and like the longer you have something invested, the more it's going to work in your favor. Because if somebody invested $15,000 and then waited 39 years, as opposed to somebody who's like trying to invest like $15,000 towards like, you know, the end, try to catch up, the person that invested a long time ago and did not contribute anything might still have more money than the person that did later.
Yeah.
Because just the length of time.
Yeah.
And compound interest works with you in that way.
Yeah.
But it works against you when you get into credit card debt and other debts.
Yeah.
Because those compound, like that's compound interest too, but in a way that's taking away from you. And those interests are like 30%.
Yeah.
If you can go from 15,000 to close to 200,000, you know, at 7% interest over 39 years, imagine what would happen if you went from 15,000 at 30% interest.
Yeah.
That's what credit cards do to you.
Yeah.
And other loans, other predatory loans, I should say. And so you gotta be careful out there, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, obviously, but I've been trying to you know, compound my interests.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to compound them interests. I feel you, man.
Yep. And it also works. I'm just going on a tangent, but it works with like business too. You know, you reinvest in your business, and that might compound way more than 7%. Actually, probably will compound way more than 7%. And so, investing, compound interest. Learn about it, guys. I think it's important.
Yep.
Shout out Albert Einstein. Rest in peace.
For real. He was one of them.
He was one of the guys. And if you think we are the guys, feel free to rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, because it helps us a lot.
It does. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
And it makes him happy.
It does make me happy.
Does it make me happy? Do you think it makes me happy?
Probably.
It actually makes me really happy. Happier than him, believe it or not. So, this has been Jigen, and Adriel Rivera. And we make music in my shed.